You were warned, you were given an explanation, and still you persisted in watching this after show. This is the AFTERBUZZ Supergirl Season 2, Episode 22. Nevertheless, you persisted. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, Tauri J.
Oh, yeah.
Like a non-invasive skin treatment. That was topical.
Damn.
We need a slow clap for that intro and then Lex's joke.
Yeah. As I said, this is the Supergirl After Show. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm your host, Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. And I'm joined by my wonderful panel. To my left, Stephanie Wenger.
Hi guys, good to be back with you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stephanie Wenger.
Lex Michael.
I am Lex Michael. I'm all over social media at the Lex Michael. Still,
That's where you can find him.
still, it hasn't changed, you
true.
guys. It
Joelle
just
Monique.
keeps being a fact.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique, every week at blackgirlnerds.com, and every Wednesday at Schmoes Know.
Yo, we're manning the chat. We got Lacretia Lyon.
Hey guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Nice. And this is The Wind Beneath Your Wings, I think sung by Idina Menzel.
Yeah,
Yep. Excellent.
it's amazing.
This is
Yeah.
from the Beaches remake that just came out.
Aww.
So this
classic.
is Adina doing
Very
bad.
nice.
All right,
I love
that's
it.
enough, Adina. It's time for some sweet, sweet Supergirl.
I'm a straight weep again right now. You guys.
Right? I'm ready.
I'm waiting to see it. I got to see you guys cry a lot, and it was nice. I
many
live
tears.
off the viewing of tears.
I'm so tired from the emotion. You guys.
It was a legitimate roller coaster from like laugh out loud hysterics to great action to oh god, the lesbians. Oh god.
She's crying out of happiness because of the
Okay,
lesbians.
Like,
Yeah.
consider what it means that I, of all people, don't mind that we didn't get more sweet Martian and Kryptonian battle action in this episode because they hit the emotional notes so exceedingly well and powerfully. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
I'd imagine. I mean, I feel like we got a really good amount of Kryptonian battling, though. Like, we started the episode with Supergirl fighting Superman in an all-out, knockdown, drag-out brawl.
And I will say, I thought about how last week I said, you know, I'm a little bit burnt out on Superman fights other hero stories, but I feel like they found the way to do it that would bother me the least, where Rhea uses silver kryptonite to make Superman believe that he's fighting General Zod. My argument was, most of the time when you see a Superman fights other heroes story, you have to either, through some plot contrivance or through questionable writing, you have to strip away all of the attributes that make Superman who he is. And I feel like they found a workaround to create a scenario where he's going to be fighting his cousin to the death, where it is not in spite of the things that make him Superman, but because of all the things that make him Superman. He knows how deadly a threat Zod has always been, and he knows that he has to do everything he can to stop Zod. Of course, in this case, it's not Zod, it's his cousin.
Right.
But it worked, I thought.
Is there a precedent for silver kryptonite in the comics? I do not remember. I
Man,
feel
this is
like
just a
I
kryptonite
know,
rainbow.
There are so many different varieties. There's red, there's blue, there's silver, there's white, there's one other one, standard green.
Fuchsia.
Oh my gosh, you don't even want to get me started on fusion.
Don't touch the chartreuse kryptonite, Tauri.
Hey, I won't. I never touch this stuff. Don't worry about me. I've been off for years.
To expand on Lex's thought of like that fight was we could have been burned out, but they did it in a unique and original way. I feel the same way about kryptonite. Every time there's a Superman story and it's about kryptonite, I'm like, oh god, here we go again. How predictable. I didn't see silver kryptonite coming, and I certainly didn't see Rhea having that thought that much in the future of being like, I've got the silver kryptonite, I'm gonna just make them fight each other, and then I'll be fine.
Yeah, Ivan Seta points out it's from Smallville. The silver kryptonite had come up. And yeah, like I had never seen it in the comics, but I was thinking about like a rainbow kryptonite and how like if there was like a super bigot Superman version, that would be his kryptonite. So that's where my mind went. It like weird territory. I'm like, this Superman hates everyone.
And this kryptonite makes you gay?
No, he just would be offended by the rainbow.
It's like those old gay bombs that they were worried about in the early 2000s.
Hey,
yeah.
so on a different note, I actually did find a comic book reference for Silver Kryptonite.
Thank you. What do you got?
It is the crossover Superman Batman number 49 was its first appearance.
Ah.
Nice.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful save.
Yeah,
I really
I'm
appreciate
sorry, I
it.
went down the rabbit hole there.
So after we get this this fight where Supergirl beats up Superman, she essentially beats the effects out of him.
I'm glad that wasn't the bulk of the episode as well. I'm glad we effectively dealt with it in our prologue.
Oh, and not only do we deal with it in our prologue, like that ending in the fountain, and the fact that she beats him so soundly.
Yes.
It is a magnificent fight. Oh my god, I was so excited. I love watching Supergirl do her thing, but Supergirl's almost always second to Superman unless she's Power Girl and she's got like all these additional enhancements.
Right.
So to see her just kick butt, take names, and Superman to just like be like, oh no, I was at full strength.
Yeah.
You're Earth's champion now.
I
Yeah.
felt like the
I'm not gonna
fight
cry.
was so cinematic. Like, it was such a big moment for a show like this. And they do amazing stunt work, but that was other level. And then you kind of wondered where it was going to go from there. Like, how do you outdo that? And I think how they did it, to your point, was by hitting these emotional points. And they really did go into that emotional side in especially the final act.
Yeah.
We have an update from the chat about the Silver Kryptonite that's really funny to me. Vidar DJ 16 Starkill says it did appear in that Superman Batman crossover number 46, but it just acted like weed.
Oh.
So it just would have made them have really creative thoughts, but not really get anything done.
Yes, the
And-
source that I found said trippy hallucination.
Oh yeah, cool.
To be fair,
Yeah.
it is a mild hallucinogen, so maybe it's working on Clark, and Clark doesn't partake, of course.
Yeah, he's a lightweight one.
He's very
Clark.
much a
He's
Boy
a
Scout.
Superboy, yeah.
So it's like you dose him heavily, and if you dose somebody, if you've never had edibles before, the mild hallucinogenic effect becomes exacerbated, especially when you get hit with a really heavy dose, like I'm sure Rhea gave him.
Yes,
So
I'm
it's
sure.
entirely feasible that he thinks he's seeing General Zod everywhere he looks.
I will
Totally.
be searching California for the Silver Kryptonite strain. If it's not out there, breed it, make it.
Greenlee, could you guys work on that?
Right?
Yeah,
Make
thank
that happen.
I want to see General Zod everywhere I look. I tell you what.
So, fun thing about the fight. I
this
often
is a
forget
flash.
that this show is shot in Vancouver. But so the fight between Supergirl and Superman took place at a very popular skating rink in Vancouver. That if you'll see it throughout every show that's shot in Vancouver, you'll see it at some point.
Just because it looks great and it's like
Yeah.
a versatile backdrop.
Yeah, it also feels in some ways like I've been to Vancouver, seen it in person, but it also on screen feels almost like Rockefeller Center-esque. Like it has that feeling to it, so it feels in many ways like it could be in multiple cities. I'm sorry if you live in Vancouver and feel like your skating rink is unique.
It's not.
I think it's a
Just here
bigger
to let you
compliment.
know.
If you live in Vancouver, lucky you, because everybody wishes that your skating rink was their skating rink.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's very true.
Yeah. I just thought I'd point that out because it made my heart swoon because I love Vancouver.
Yeah.
Well, wait,
it's
where else have
amazing.
you seen it?
I've seen it's also been in Arrow. It's been in Flash. It's been in.
I guess it stands to
It's
reason.
been in Fringe. It has also
Yeah.
been in. I forget this. Another
Yeah.
sci-fi
It's-
show.
It's
Lots
very
of
much
sci-fi shows.
I think
all
it was even
over
in Psych
these
at one
shows.
point.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because it was shot there too.
So everywhere, along like the same with.
It's-
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say it's an incredible backdrop. Like,
yeah.
and like very
It's amazing.
And if you don't go to New Amsterdam, you remember seeing it.
Yes. And so when we get Superman again after he recovers from the kryptonite, we get him in his full-fledged like Boy Scout glory, and I love that we get this moment between him and Kara when she's preparing for the duel, where he's kind of giving her this pep talk about like, you carry your family with you, you can have it all if you work hard enough. And I really thought that this moment, because it harkens back to, I think it was the first season, when she was really struggling with having it all, and she could only have this conversation with Clark via chat because he wasn't cast yet. And now we see that come full circle, where essentially she's now carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders.
It's kind of amazing and also heartbreaking because of how the episode ends. Like, I like when Kat kind of breaks it down for us and kind of goes through all of Kara's accomplishments throughout the season. You kind of think about how much she's grown as a journalist. This stuff has kind of kept us up to date on, as you know, she's built healthy relationships. She has 2 jobs that she's able to balance and do well. It makes sense that the pressure from all of that would finally come to a head, especially now that she's had to say goodbye to the one person who was kind of making each day a little lighter.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just do like a moments that made us cry rundown near the end of the show, man. But like one of them too. One of these moments that I thought was so beautiful was the moment where Clark meets Mon-El, and he's introduced to Mon-El as a Daxamite. And there's this moment where Mon-El's like, "Oh, okay, I know what this probably means to you, a Kryptonian. I'm not one of the killy ones. Okay, like this is gonna be super weird." And like Clark, being Clark, just extends his hand and he says, "If you're with Kara, I'm sure you're a good guy." Like, yeah, exactly. I was like, this is so perfect. It's perfect because you are simultaneously hitting the emotional button so well. It doesn't feel contrived. It doesn't feel like you're trying to manipulate and pull something out of me. But also, it is so true to those characters, going all the way back. Now, better part of 100 years in Superman's case, and like, what a beautiful moment! An episode full of beautiful moments. I'm gonna cry again. Are you gonna cry again with me?
I'm gonna try not to, but feminist Superman is everything to me. This idea of like you could see like everyone's like, oh, what's Superman gonna do? And he's like, oh, well, if Kara tells you, then it's probably fine, right?
Oh no, that's
yeah.
Specifically the scene, and it's a little bit later. It's towards the end of the episode where Clark, the line where he says to Kara, "You humble me." Like,
son, get out!
I was like, I'm done. I gotta lay down now. I'm done. I can't.
My heart is full, and I like that we get an audience representation of that in Win. When Win just gets so like his legs aren't fully supporting him as he's walking up the stairs, and he's like, "Oh God, it's Superman!" And Superman's like, "Oh no, I know you.
Hey, buddy.
Genius.
Yeah.
What's up?" I was, why say we don't deserve you, Superman? Oh God.
And of course, like I never watched Teen Wolf, so I wasn't super familiar with Tyler Hoechlin's work before I knew his name, but I wasn't familiar with his work before he was cast as Superman. And I remember talking about this all the way back at the beginning of the season, where my initial reaction was, the Teen Wolf kid? Okay, okay, interesting. I have no real opinion, not having seen the show. Saw some of the set photos, and I still went, yeah, all right. Like I get he's a good-looking dude, and I get like he fills out the suit, but
that butt
I'm still
fills
not.
It out.
Oh yeah.
What up, Lacretia?
You can have it. But you know, and I wasn't sold on it. But then he showed up in those first couple of episodes, and it was like, oh my God, that's Superman. Like, they're doing it. And it was wonderful to see him come back and to continue exemplifying everything that I want to see from Superman in a story like this.
He also just fits in with that cast so well. There's so much chemistry between the cast, and he also, imagine like he went away for so many episodes, and to come back and still feel like he kind of never left is really impressive, I think.
And I also, just moments that I enjoyed. This cat hitting on him the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
I love how vulnerable she is in that moment, where she's like a giddy little girl with Clark. And
Check my chapstick, adjust that shirt collar. Yeah, she was feeling it. And then you have to wonder, again, based off of the ending, does she also know that he is Superman? Because she's like, I told you without those glasses, he's a stud.
Another moment that like almost made me weepy, for sure.
Something I feel like we've been waiting for.
No, that moment?
Yeah.
Legitimately, it did. It actually did, because okay, we talked, I think, even last week about how you can't break that device of people can't see through the simple disguise of glasses.
Yes.
But of course, Kat knows.
Yeah.
Kat is far, and it's less about, oh, I saw through this disguise immediately, than it's, I've now spent time around both of you, and I care about both of you. I'm never gonna tell Kara that I care about her to her face. She should know by now without me saying it. But she knows them, and I thought it was a very beautiful moment that breaks the device without breaking it.
Well, it's also, I felt like she was talking to Kara as well as Supergirl in that moment, and it was like she knew that both of these individuals are on their own hero's journey, and you can argue that this season we've seen Kara and Supergirl be on a hero's journey.
That's true. She could also have meant it metaphorically. That's true.
Yeah,
It is a slightly ambiguous moment in that way. But if it's not ambiguous, if it's meant to be like she totally knows, it's still.
It's definitely not ambiguous, because at the end she says, "Go get him, Supergirl," and I was, I'm done. I'm in conniptions. Like, it is.
But I still think, following Stephanie's logic, that line could still be, on a different show that wasn't like, give me your emotions, I might be like, well, maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't, maybe it's like
Yeah, I just feel like we've seen these characters all season, or Kara/Supergirl, have this hero's arc, and you can argue that kind of personally she's had one journey as well as being the hero.
Right.
Being the superhero.
Absolutely. And I mean, we spent so much time this season harking on her for not being, necessarily an open person and listening to other people, and kind of running. And that's changed tenfold.
Yeah.
Like, she's become part of the team. She's no longer taking on all of the responsibility. She's listening and opened herself to a lot of things.
She's also putting herself sometimes second, which I think she didn't always do.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that again tonight in one of the most heartbreaking moments of the episode.
Yeah. But we're going to get to that.
All right.
But before we do, jumping off the idea of mentors, we get this really interesting scene between Lillian and Lena, where essentially Lillian's kind of apologizing for being a bad mom. Kind of.
she's doing, I guess, if you want to be really generous, she's doing what I guess her approximation of an apology might be. When she knows she needs something in this room right now, this is as close as I think she will strategically get
Lena says
to an apology.
Lena says it best later, when she's like, this is her on her best behavior. Like, this is the most she's capable of, so we're just going to have to roll with it.
Yeah. And I liked this moment because I think I've been a big Lillian apologist since the beginning of the season. I've been like teetering the line of being like, maybe she's not
It's
completely
just because you
evil.
want to date her daughter.
It
Yeah.
really is. I'm sucking up, guys. I'm trying to get in real good so she can be like, you are worthy of Lena. And I'm like, yeah, you know I am. But
She hates aliens, but she loves podcasts.
it's true. It's the best way to keep track. Unless the podcast is a Kryptonian podcast.
Whoa.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Tauri J. Miller. I'll see you. Okay.
We're not gonna
Oh, Tauri.
But beyond that, we get introduced to this box that is a creation of Lex's. Not you, but like Lex Luthor.
I'm glad
Evil
that you
you.
clarified for
I
me
had
because
to.
I would have spent the rest of this conversation plumb confused.
I was going to say, I thought that was really unclear, so I'm glad we got that clarification.
You're welcome, guys. I have to make sure, as your leader, I have to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Yep,
This
no.
time it's page 11, which says that Lex Luthor came up with a kryptonite dispenser device.
Pretty early in the book.
Yeah, it's pretty. We're only like a few minutes into this episode. Don't worry about it.
All right.
And so, I lost it. I lost track.
He made a
Anyway.
box.
box.
He made a box
He
with a
made a
thing
box.
inside.
What's in the box?
What is in the box?
Yes.
And so it becomes everyone's last-ditch effort while they're preparing for this duel. And so now they bring Wynn in on it, and Lillian is being still pretty shady.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think she's only got one setting where that's concerned. I don't think there's a not. She's been shady for so long. I don't think there's a not shady version.
Well, I feel like it's hard for me to judge Lillian too. Like, she's a terrible mother. Like, I can judge her in that. Like, you were an awful mother. But as far as a person concerned for her planet, like, even knowing that Superman and Supergirl are aliens, like, I mean, look at what happened. We get a little silver kryptonite. Like, Superman can just be turned on anybody. I don't agree with her stance, but I understand why she has fear for these things. And it doesn't seem in this moment to be like a world domination thing. It's more of a, like, things are at risk, armies hailing from the sky, and you want to fight this one woman and trust her word, which, honestly turned out not to be maybe the greatest decision.
Right.
Yes. Well, I mean, but her whole thing is that she essentially takes the extremes and applies it to all, which is a common practice amongst bigots.
Yes.
So I hear.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a real big thing. Like, and she even goes so far as to try to unleash the box before she gets the signal, essentially ruining whatever plan they already had.
Yeah.
But Lena was
Yeah, what
Smart-
a smart,
very smartly planned ahead.
Such a smart move on Lena's part.
And Lena Go ahead.
She's smart enough to know that she can only trust her own mother to a point.
Well, and this will be like the 4th time someone tried to double cross her with an invention she's used. Lena said, not this time.
Right.
This time
Yes.
I keep the control.
Didn't learn nothing the first 2 times, but fool me thrice.
Yeah, fool me 3 times, don't fool me again.
Yeah, that's the new one.
I mean, do you guys think that this would be the first steps into kind of mending that relationship between the two of them?
I think if you mean between Lena and Lillian.
Yeah.
of
I
course.
do believe, as I understand the place these characters are currently in, I believe if Lillian continues to be a presence on this show, if there is a way to a redemptive arc for her, it is definitely through Lena.
Yeah.
Do I necessarily want that for Lena? Because I feel like to become involved in her mother's arc of redemption would take quite a bit of time and energy that she could be pouring into anything else. But I do think that would be the only hope for full redemption of Lillian.
I just don't know that redemption is a possibility for her. Like, I would always say that there's, like, you can turn over a new leaf and, like, in real life, but this character has been painted in such a specific way at this point that I don't know in this scripted series if someone can do that.
Here's why I want to see her redeemed. This writer's room does a really good job of dealing with like feminist issues, dealing with political issues, and I think that a lot of people have bigoted family members. It's just a thing that, you know, you kind of brush up against. You can't choose who you're born to, and I think it'd be really awesome to see like how you might address a bigoted family member and try to just converse with them and come to different kinds of conclusions. And I think this writer's room could handle that subject matter really well. But I'm kind of with Lex in that I think Lena could be focusing her time on other things. I'd almost be more interested to see Lex come back into the sphere and see how she deals with like Big Shiny Brother coming back and maybe trying to take his company.
Interesting.
I would have said last year, I would have said there's no way that's going to happen because they're saving Lex Luthor for the movies. But now Superman has been in 3 episodes this season.
Yeah.
So
And we also got basically Zod. So which means that there's a chance that he could always come back. So like the sky is the limit unless you want Suicide Squad. But
I didn't say that for the record. Whoever's listening and is mad, that was all Tauri J. So you know where to send those hate tweets, you
Yep.
guys.
Yeah,
speaking of
boomerang
hate
is on that.
tweets,
I love that this is the transition.
yep, this is exactly
Right here.
Sometimes when I get hate tweets, I like to go onto iTunes and read your positive remarks about our show.
It always cheers
here
me up.
on AfterBuzz and on iTunes and on YouTube. It really like makes my day seeing how much you guys really enjoy the show and hearing your feedback, hearing your theories about what is going to happen on the show. And I really enjoy it, and we all really enjoy it. It's why we come here every week, and we only ask one thing of you. Literally one thing, and that is to rate, subscribe, leave a comment below if you love what we're doing. You know, give us them 5 stars, and we read them sweet comments. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on YouTube. If you love the internet, we are there, and you can find us. And all that we ask is that you show us that love. We eat those clicks, we eat those subscriptions, we feed on all the stars.
Yeah, we've got 2 5-star reviews that we haven't read.
Oh.
Nice.
Do we want some sexy 5-star reviews?
Yes,
read?
please.
Can we pipe in that smooth jazz?
I would love to. Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, on it.
Damn.
Just
today.
on it today.
Well, we've got thank you 5 stars from Prodigal358. Hi everyone. Just wanted to thank you for taking the time this season and doing this podcast. You are all amazing. By the way, that finale, wow. I haven't seen it yet, but probably I'll be feeling that. Yeah, and they were. But yeah, another great DC on the CW podcast. 5 stars from
Oh.
Joey J 1977.
Thank
The
you,
sexy
Joey
year.
J.
We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, can't wait to hear what your opinions are on the season finale. I hope you all have a great summer and can't wait for season 3. Take care, my fellow DC nerds. Smiley face. Great.
Aww. Who was that one from?
That was Joey J, 1977.
Who did the first one?
Yeah.
That was Prodigal 358.
Thanks, guys.
Joey, Prodigal. Love ya.
So much love.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You're both
yeah.
my Mon-El. Hey.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of Mon-El.
Oh, so many
we had
emotions.
We had
in
a
my
great
heart.
fight between his mother and Kara.
Psych intro. Yeah.
Hard left. Hard left.
Yeah, that fight scene was so much. I like their big leaping to punch superhero action. This is what that looks like to me. Viewers listening, you don't need to know what that looks like. It's embarrassing.
It's great.
And then I like that she was like, I don't need to keep my promise. Like, screw that. Who cares? Bring all my ships in, and we're about to just destroy everything.
I'm stuck on your punching now.
You
I want
don't-
to see
you're
it.
like,
It looks like the box art for Stomp the Yard. I love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she brought more guns and ships, and then the battle shifted. Full of references. Anyways, I really liked the twist of the kryptonite blood.
Yeah.
It also gave a little more context about like why she's so angry, and also it kind of explains a little bit of her madness in that she could be having like kryptonite poisoning madness.
It seems like she is so well. She's my reading of it, and it's horrifying. Is that once the kryptonite rained down on Daxam, the survivors, at least some of the survivors, clearly became so irradiated by this kryptonite, which clearly was not fatal to them, but definitely not. It's not water.
Yeah.
It may have caused a few things to go loose in her brain.
But she's become so irradiated with it that it is literally coming out of her when she is cut. I can't imagine that's doing a whole lot of positive things for her higher brain function.
Oh yeah, which is insane. But like I liked that because when we were going into this fight, my first thought was like she could never beat Kara, because Kara has strength. She has ice breath. She has heat vision. The ability to fly. Like she could literally fly her into space and then just leave her to pop like a grape. However, or a balloon, whatever pops. Anyway, if she were less...
I'm
tiger.
sorry, Jay Miller. I'm gonna go home and pop
pimple.
some grapes.
I should stay quiet.
So I love that it was able to... I love that it was able to even the score. In addition to being a sweet, sweet twist.
Yeah.
Ivan Soda brings up kind of like Miraku in Arrow, like this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's a good little throwback there with Sleep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it. So while they're fighting and the Daxamites are attacking, we get some really or not even interesting, just really cool sequences. We get the return of Magan.
Which was wonderful, and it was the psychic link essentially between the two of them, which is so, like, if you're a fan of the source material, obviously you know that the primary way that Jean communicates with the team, for example, while they're in the field or with his Martian brethren, is through the psychic link. So the fact that that was how Magan knew that he was in trouble and needed help, like that made my little nerd heart sing. But what made all of my hearts sing at once was when they're on the way to the battle. We get a moment, come on, guys, we got a moment in this episode where Superman and the Martian Manhunter go into battle together. Jean, in his Martian dialects, is stronger together. They address each other as brother, and they march into battle.
Founding members of the Justice League are fighting.
I'm just, I gotta lay down again, you guys.
All right, Lex is gone.
He's got a pillow.
While he's down there, I thought that was a great moment. Mostly because earlier in the season they established their contentious relationship. So having that moment where they come together and are like, there's something bigger than what is between us. Let's go into battle. I thought that was amazing.
Yes, so Superman and the Martian Manhunter team up to help Supergirl repel a Daxamite invasion, and then Miss Martian calls in a cavalry of white Martians. It's beautiful, you guys.
Yes.
This is like
so
movie-worthy
beautiful.
storyline right here. Like this hour of television could easily have been like the last part of a really epic movie. I just, like somebody in the chat just mentioned Wynn running to Martian Manhunter when he's healed and like nearly tackling him. I just feel like all of the love, and then for them all to come together in such a unified way. It's just, there's just so much love in this episode. I almost couldn't stand it. And the show is so good at turning like couples that initially I was like, weird, no, I don't want it. Did not want the Martian people to be together. Here's why. Oh my gosh. The lady Martian Manhunter, I can't think of names right now. Magan is canon his niece, and it really bugged me that they were like forcing them.
Some canon his niece.
Yeah.
I'd say like in fairness, about a full 50% of the stories that I'm familiar with, that is true.
Yeah. In my head canon, in the stories that I've read, she's his niece, and it bugged me. But what I really like, what they've done here is they've brought these two together over like all kinds of crazy insurmountable odds, and now I just adore them. And the fact that she was able to come and save him this time, it was beautiful.
Aww.
I cried again.
As you should have, because we got the whole end of the season was, or by end of the season, it's technically correct, but the end of the episode was a cry fest. It was a sob fest.
Oh yeah,
it really was, and I think it also, we wondered, I think last week during our podcast, about how we were going to tie all these storylines together, and they certainly did that in this. That we got a lot of things that we've been wanting at the end of this episode, and then some also heartbreak, obviously.
Yeah. So I'm finally moving into.
Before we do that, though, we got a War World reference in
Yeah,
this episode, which made me like. I did the stomp the yard thing myself while we were watching it. War World, and again, it was one line where Superman's acknowledging a move he did, and he's like, "Oh, well, I think while they're training, while they're like, sprucing up for the fight."
Learn that one at War World.
Yeah, learn that move on War World. War World was created by Len Wein and Jim Starlin in the 80s, and it was created by an alien race, and I believe they're called the Warzoons. Don't quote me. I believe that's correct. As like their ultimate weapon of sorts.
Yeah.
But that race mysteriously died out. So in a couple of different incarnations of the story, because of course that continuity's been rebooted a bunch of times now.
Right.
But Mongol ends up taking over Warworld, and in multiple different stories, Superman once or twice has to team up with Kara to take down Mongol on Warworld. So I thought that was a really fun nod to the bigger Superman mythology. Didn't want to miss calling that out.
Oh, yeah.
There are Justice League episodes if you'd like to learn more about War World. They're on Netflix, and they're amazing.
There's also a great appearance in Young Justice, which was great.
So good.
So watch all of the DC animation. It's great. So
I believe on Young Justice Young Justice
No,
is
we're not talking
Magan
about that.
his niece on that?
Yes.
Though
Yes.
he is okay. She is right.
his niece, not like, but they're not related.
Because
not-
she's still a
right.
white Martian.
Your cover ID is got it.
Right.
That would still be
Yes.
weird. Anyway,
so we're getting into the sad piece that happened. Mon-El finally gets to be a hero. The thing he's wanted since the beginning, sort of. The thing he's wanted since meeting Kara. He's jumping around, saving people, having a good time, having sweet fights, and then they're forced to use the lead bomb, which means that he can't live on Earth anymore, guys.
Two things about this. One, Lacretia predicted it. She said, as we were sitting down, they're not keeping him around. And I said, what? From where? From where do we pick this up? She was right. She was smooth. She knew it was up. And then
It hurts my heart to
And
be
the-
right here.
and it hurts all of us because, what a journey these two have been on. And I think I've maybe been the loudest vocal opponent to their relationship on the panel.
I've definitely been the biggest supporter. So
Yeah.
And
That's why we keep Lex between you.
Sophie and Stephanie don't
am
fight.
neutral
That's what we're meant to
ground.
do.
exactly. That's what we regularly do. No.
Switcher Lex.
But I loved them. But like the show got me. I loved Caramel. They were so cute together, and they were working, and it was happening, and it was beautiful. And then to see her like, first the decision to build the bomb was like, it was like obviously like we have to have a backup plan. Okay, cool. It sucks, but we're not allowed to come to that. But when she has to press the button, and they have to say their goodbyes, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if we've ever seen Supergirl so distraught. I don't know if I've ever seen Supergirl just, I don't know, how do I fix this? And poor Alex also equally distraught. I was like, there's something we can do.
Yeah.
He has to go. He cannot stay.
He's gotta go.
at least they were able to get him off planet, so he's alive.
Yeah.
That's the big emotional goodbye between the two of them. I thought that scene was so well played. There was a part of me that felt like, oh, we got here a little quick, but that's maybe a byproduct of there was so much ground we had to cover in this episode. I felt like maybe we got there a little fast, but that goodbye was so devastating. And the two of them are such wonderful actors and are so wonderful together. And I felt every second of that goodbye. But the fact that they got him into the pod and off planet means that A, he's still alive, he's still out there. B means it's not outside the realm of possibility that we see Mon-El again.
Well,
Right.
and he is confirmed as a series regular for season 3, according to Davey Elmer and
So there we go.
everything I've read. And that's why it's like, we know this goodbye isn't forever, but we also still felt all the emotions.
Yeah, I certainly felt all the emotions, and I did start to wonder, though, how this is going to elevate her storyline for next season, because I think she's broken at this point. I mean, that's where we kind of left her, and then you see at the end of the episode that she kind of returns to being this hero, and where does that take you when you've been through so much?
Maybe this wormhole, he went to hang out with the Legends, which is my favorite guys anyway, so like he could just be on both shows.
Is he
Farm
in
himself.
a oh my gosh, is that a black hole, a boom tunnel?
Boom tube?
Yeah. What do we think he was? The spirally ether in
Yes.
the spaces that he flew through.
It could have been anything. It looked like it wasn't intentional that he went through. It looked like the same kind of portals we get when the Flash does his traveling, so it could have been one of those. It could have also just been like a random warp hole.
Yeah, there are a number of portals that already exist just in the shared universe of these shows, and there are exponentially more types of portals that exist in the pages of DC Comics.
Right.
So this could be any number of things.
And
That's
those
true.
clever bastards from the CW just kept putting the little Valor ads and whatever, which is Mon-El's name in the comics.
Yep.
And I made a little joke. You can't have Valor without Mon-El,
Ah.
CW.
Well, but he talks about, and especially since, okay, if it's a sure thing that he's going to be coming back, he talks about wanting to go off and be the person that Kara, I'm going to cry again, be the person that Kara always knew he could be. That very much could set him on the path to becoming Valor as he does in the comics.
Nice.
Squeak.
So we have time for one last bit, which is the 35 years in the past on Krypton. We get this black pod on Krypton as Superman is shifted off, Kara is shifted off, and then there's this dark cult that sends a small baby wrapped in black fabric, and they feed him blood, and he goes off to Earth. What even can this be, guys?
So y'all can go first if you have.
Lex, jump in
So
there.
I have a thought.
Yes,
and
come
I
back
have
to
a
the
thought
mic.
Yeah.
because there were a few things when I saw the scene. I was like, "What is this?" And then the line that tipped it for me was, and I'm paraphrasing, but one of the last lines was, "You will go to Earth and you will reign." There's a character called Reign who is very much not a villain pulled from the larger Superman mythology, but very much a Supergirl villain.
Yeah.
A fairly recent creation, 2012, I believe. So only five years ago. When are we? Pretty recent, but is a world killer, if you will, whose origin is a mystery even to her. I can't profess to be an expert on this character, but if I remember correctly, she doesn't know too much about her own origin. She goes back to Krypton in order to try and answer some of those questions for herself and finds it destroyed, and eventually ends up on a collision course with the Girl of Steel. My assumption is specifically because of that line, that this may be some version of that character.
Interesting. That'd be neat. Because though I have my narrative side says that we've gotten Kryptonians as the bad guys already, and we've had pseudo Kryptonians as the bad guys with the Daxamites. So do we need another Kryptonian bad person?
I don't believe in the comics that she is actually fully Kryptonian. I believe she was created by Kryptonian scientists.
Okay.
But that she is not a full-blooded Kryptonian herself.
But she is from Krypton. And I hear what Tauri is saying. I like it. I don't have a problem with more. Because to me, like, Supergirl, while I like when she faces these more human challenges on Earth, and even more human villains, man, when she gets to punch aliens in the face, it's just so great. And I feel like we need more Kryptonians in order to see her punch more aliens in the face. So I'm totally cool with it.
I found a little thing about
right.
Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Rain is a world killer created by a group of Kryptonian scientists.
Hey.
She's amongst a group of world killers similar to Doomsday.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the chat predicting Doomsday,
Yeah.
so maybe Rain would make everybody happy.
And this would be a way. This would be a way to do both. You get another strong female villain as potentially your big bad for the season, but you could also do your take on arguably one of the most famous, if not the most famous, Superman story ever told, Death of Superman, where he famously sacrifices himself to defeat Doomsday. You could do a fun spin on that using the character of Rain. Potentially.
Yeah.
This definitely felt to me like to use a Marvel reference, like a post credits scene.
It did.
Because like I was fine with it ending with her flying off and like having that strong moment as Supergirl, and then to have this and to like introduce kind of what's to come next season is really fun, and like I'm glad to be on this panel that knows all of this like comic book.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping we get more of this from other superheroes. So it's just shows. Like, I really like this post-credit end of the season kind of teaser for the next season. That's fun.
Yeah.
I said that would be our last thing, but I would be remiss if I did not mention the proposal.
Yes, which we had this moment. We were all getting ready. I felt like we were watching it together. We're winding down. We're in our denouement, if you will. We're all taking breaths. Like, all right, we're tying everything up. We're good. We can relax now. And then Alex blurts out, "Will you marry me?" And all of us simultaneously go, "Oh goodness."
It's true.
I had
So excited.
big feelings about this moment. Okay, we rarely get queer relationships, especially in superhero shows, but to get an engagement is even rarer. A lot of times it's boyfriend, it's just dating things, and then it's over. We're getting a marriage? Guys, which means we get a wedding? What?
Potentially.
Hopefully.
I do
These people live
not
very
jinx it.
complex and stressful lives.
I'm not jinxing it. We didn't get a definitive yes. So, we don't know what will happen.
She didn't say yes.
No, she smiled. Yes, run it back in your brain.
Well, she wasn't mad.
Yes, that's true.
So
I'm assuming that she like
just
booped
all
her
the
nose.
air out of the excitement of
I'm
this
sorry.
I feel like it wouldn't go. She wouldn't go. Ha! No.
Yeah, but I feel like even if we didn't get a yes, it was left on like a happier note. It
Right.
wasn't. I'm taking it as like a tentative yes.
Yeah, I think it was like, yeah, when we're totally done with this huge alien battle. Like, yeah.
Like let's discuss it when like things are calm again.
Right.
I'm with you though. I'm holding on to it. I want these kids to be happy.
Yeah,
I
David
want
versus
it.
Tari,
I'm just saying.
that smile was a yes.
Tari,
Okay,
get on
got it.
board.
Sorry, I don't know human things.
Yeah.
You guys are foreign to me. Sorry, not sorry.
There's a lot of conversation in the chat, people being like, she didn't answer. Some people saying the smile was a yes. A smile is not a yes. Consent is consent. So,
Yeah.
a yes is a yes.
Important note.
But I really would like it to mean yes. Maybe she just couldn't speak in the happiness of the moment.
Yes.
Right.
I just felt like there was an overall positive tone to it that I want to continue forward.
Yes,
What if she
I
had
agree.
smiled, but the score went brrrr?
That'd be nifty.
Dave Griffith
but-
says
and-
Tori just crushed all our dreams. Thanks, Tori. Love ya.
Thanks,
I'm just
Tari.
being a pragmatist. And second of all, the only way we're really going to find out is if we come back next year in the fall for season 3 of Supergirl. Guys, it's been a great season. I've loved having all of you guys on this panel. We've had so much fun. We've had so many laughs. We've made so many jokes. We've had so many insights and
Alien
great
sex.
information. So much alien sex.
So much alien sex.
But alas, we are going to have to put a pause on all the fun for a few months until we come back in September for a new season of Supergirl.
Is that what is happening?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's earlier.
So, between now and then, let the people know where they can find you. And thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, you can find me at Stephanie Wenger on Twitter and Instagram. Love hearing from you guys, and you can check out Pretty Little Liars, the after shows on Tuesday nights.
I am Lex Michael. I'm all over social media at the Lex Michael. And if you are a fan of DC on the CW and ABTV, we're almost all done for the season, but there are a couple more finales this week, including the Arrow finale on Wednesday night, and I'll be breaking that down with a couple people, including Tauri J. Miller.
Yeah.
I also talk about Fargo every Thursday, and guys, that gum we like is back in style. Twin Peaks has returned, and we're talking about it every Sunday night right here on ABTV. I'm overcome, you guys. I'm so excited. Join us, please. We love you. Mwah.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique, every week at blackgirlnerds.com, every Wednesday at Schmoes Know. Come to ABTV on Thursday, 2 o'clock I Do Genius, 3 o'clock Handmaid's Tale, 4 o'clock Knife Hour, and this week with Alexis at 8 o'clock new time, we're going to be doing the season finale of Archer. Also, if you head over to the BGN podcast, my interview with WKML Bell is finally out. It is available for your ears to listen to. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Hey guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Nice. And I'm Tauri J. You can find me at Tauri J. TAURIJAY. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on the Flash panel, the Arrow panel with Lex Michael, on Doctor Who, and also coming this summer, next season of Dark Matter.
Yeah.
Whoop. Once again, thank you guys for joining us. It's been a great season, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
These moves were made for walking. Wonder Woman, June 2nd.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.